Okay, today we have another synthesis challenge. So we've got some starting material. We've got a ketone on there and an ester as well. And then we've got our target molecule, which is bicyclic. So we've got two five-membered ring and a six-membered ring there. And we want to know, how are we going to do it? What are the reagents we're going to use? What's the sequence of reactions? We want to know how we're going to pull this off. So take a couple of minutes and see if you can figure it out. Okay, so looking at what we're dealing with here, we've got a lot of carbonyls everywhere. And when we've got a lot of carbonyls, we know that enolate chemistry is always a possibility. We've got a lot of different kinds of enolate chemistry that we know how to do. So let's see what we can do here. Now, we know that there are some enolizable locations. We can go alpha to this carbonyl, alpha to this carbonyl. But what are we exactly trying to do? We look at this five-membered ring. So number one, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons on this substrate. So that's a tip-off right there. But then also number two, we've got this six-membered ring right there. We know that that might be some Robinson annulation. So let's see what we can do. Let's use methoxide here because we know that we're definitely going to be doing some Claisen condensation because the thing is we don't want to do any transesterification or any hydrolysis because we've got that methoxy there. So this is the best way to go. We're going to use our methoxide. Now the best place to deprotonate, this is the most acidic site and also the most sterically available. So we're going to deprotonate right there. We're going to grab that proton and we are going to form this enolate. So here is our enolate. So this is ready to attack. And remember, whenever we have the option of doing some intramolecular reaction, it's always going to be kinetically favored because instead of having to swim around solution and collide with just the right orientation with some other substrate, this is always, it's tethered to the other reactive site. So as that molecule is snaking around, all the sigma bonds are twisting around, it's going to very rapidly, by many orders of magnitude, more quickly find this carbonyl to react with. So we're going to do some intramolecular Claisen condensation. So technically probably a Dieckmann condensation because this is going to attack here. So this is going to reform that carbonyl. And then this is going to go all the way over here, attack right there, and then in a synthesis, we don't have to do every electron pushing arrow, but we know this is going to pop that pi bond up, it's going to come back down, kick off the methoxy. So we'll kick off the methoxy, that's fine. We've got methoxide in solution, we've got another methoxide entering solution, that's totally fine. And so what are we going to end up with? We are going to end up with, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-membered ring. Right? So let's draw our five-membered ring. And we've got to have it like this. So there's a carbonyl, 1, 2, and then 1, 2 carbons in between, and then another carbonyl, and then another carbon. Right? Because, so we could even number this if we wanted to. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we do this like this, then 1 is right here, and then 2 is there, 3, 4, 5. We can see that 1 attacked 5. So that's why there's a new bond between 1 and 5. And we've gone to this dione, right? We've got this diketone going on. So now we take a look at what we have. So we have the five-membered ring in place, and we want to keep one of those carbonyls, but we want to lose the other one. And the one that we want to lose is in a position where it could get attacked. So if you're used to looking at enolate chemistry, we know that here's this position from which we could do additional enolate chemistry. And then this carbonyl used to be there, which means this site is receptive to attack from some other fragment. So it's very clear that the rest of this is going to be a Robinson annulation, right? And remember, a Robinson annulation is a Michael addition followed by aldol condensation. So we're going to want to attach this fragment, and we know that this is the carbon where all of the chemistry is going to happen. And we know that because this is alpha to both carbonyls, right? That makes it several orders of magnitude more acidic than these other carbons because the enolate is delocalized across both carbonyls. So we know that we're going to deprotonate right there. Let's just go ahead and use more methoxide to do it. So here is that, and we'll just arbitrarily push that up onto this carbonyl so that we can write a discrete resonance structure. So here is our enolate. Now, we want to do Michael addition. Remember, Robinson annulation is Michael addition followed by aldol condensation. Michael addition is, the only difference is that what the enolate attacks is it has a carbonyl, but it attacks the alpha-beta degree of unsaturation. So we need this to attack this. Right? With aldol, the enolate attacks the carbonyl directly, and Claisen as well. But with Michael addition, it's going to attack the beta carbon. It's going to attack the beta carbon of that alpha-beta unsaturation. That's how Michael addition works. So that's going to close up there. This is going to attack right here. That's going to go up like that. That's going to go up like that. And then we'll take the tautomerization as rendered. Right? You can check out my tutorial on Michael addition if you want to get the ultra specifics. But we know that we're going to end up with this here. Right, we would have ended up with the enol, and then the enol would tautomerize, and we get this, right? So we're almost there. We're going to have to enolize again. So let's get our methoxide, and once again, we're going to get this proton, partially because it is the most sterically available, but also because if we were to enolize on the other side there, it wouldn't really, four-membered rings are not common, so it would probably enolize and then protonate again, enolize, protonate again. But over here, if we enolize, we have the potential to do some ring closure, so let's do that. So we're going to get our, let's see, okay, there's the carbonyl, there's the carbonyl. And we've got our enolate, and then let's see, running out of room a little bit. Let's head that way. See if we can get this all to fit. So the enolate is going to attack again. This is intramolecular aldol condensation. So it's the second intramolecular reaction of this synthesis here. Quite interesting. And then once again, just to save a little bit of room, we are going to show, we're just going to show the protonation already. So you know what, this has got to end up looking like that six-membered ring, so let's do that. The carbonyl is there, and we've got the hydroxyl. And you know what, actually, because we're pretty much completely out of room, I'm going to get rid of that hydroxyl, and we're just going to go straight to the aldol condensation. If we heat that up, it's going to go straight to the aldol condensation. So we had the aldol addition, then we would have just deprotonated again, and then the elimination, we would have kicked off that hydroxide. So we're there, and then we're basically at the product. All we need is to hydrogenate. Just a little bit of hydrogenation over platinum metal is going to get rid of that pi bond, and we're going to get to the product. So that's it. It was basically two major reactions. We had an intramolecular Claisen condensation, essentially a Dieckmann condensation, to get this five-membered ring. And then from this five-membered ring, we had just our classic Robinson annulation, right? With the Robinson annulation, we had first the Michael addition, attacking this beta carbon, getting us to here. And the second step of the Robinson annulation is the intramolecular aldol condensation, getting us all the way to this product, having eliminated the hydroxyl, and then just some hydrogenation over platinum metal is going to get rid of that pi bond. That's going to get us to our product. So that is today's synthesis challenge.
Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Support me on Patreon so I can keep making content. And as always, feel free to email me, ProfessorDaveExplains@gmail.com.